Alright then, well I suppose it's off to the vampire capital with me. Such a shame this state this place is in, but oh well. I do wonder if I'll get to see Asher again. The vampire capital seems to be further away than I'd remember. Then again, there's certainly some houses here that have gone missing in the last however many years it's been. Well, I'm certainly in the right direction. Cough. You know, being in a coffin for so long really takes away your ability to walk anywhere, let alone run. Now, these buildings I certainly don't remember. If the sun's going down soon. Well, it means I won't be needing this umbrella anymore. As there's a heretic I must avoid at all costs. Now, if I do remember correctly, my memory's a bit hazy, but I'd recognize those gleaming towers anywhere. Feels good to be back in familiar territory. Don't remember some of this. Must be newer. Yes, I certainly don't remember my way around some of these streets. If I remember correctly, General Asher's house should be somewhere around this side. Aha. My memory hasn't left me entirely. Now let's see if our old friend is at home. Is there anyone home?
Hello?
Oh my.
Oh.
General Asher as I live and breathe. Well, metaphorically speaking, of course.
That is not a title I have used for some time now. You're not dead.
Indeed, I'm not.
It's, I thought you were. It's been, what, 250 over that?
Do you know, I was
Um,
very much under that same impression of being dead. And then I woke up in my own grave not one day ago.
oh, intriguing. How are you? Okay. Um, so you were in your grave at the estate, and
In
now you are here.
so it would seem.
How are you not dead?
If I had to guess, I'd say it has something to do with this ruby around my neck. I don't recall ever owning that before, and yet I woke up with it.
Huh. Interesting. I mean, most vampires from that time are not around anymore.
Well, I'm glad to see a familiar face anyway.
I may be the only one that you see.
Speaking of which, how's the king? How's his majesty?
Very dead,
Ah,
thankfully. Very, very dead. Has been for some centuries.
oh, so not long after me then, I suppose.
Something like that. Yeah. He
Uh,
was causing problems. Bit awkward, the whole thing.
was it you?
Who killed him? The bastard?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, yes, old
Yeah, I'm
habits
not.
do die hard, don't they?
Oh, gee. Of course you're going to remind me of that. It is not like it was personal.
No, I
I
understand,
was
but
working.
still.
I was working under Chiron. It was orders. I was doing my job. But I am no longer the general, so I have that going for me.
Yes, I did notice you're going around with a crown now.
Mm-hmm.
So are you the king?
I don't use the word king, I use the term prince. But yes, in all respects,
Hmm.
I'm the current leader of the vampires.
Well, you seem to have done well for yourself.
Well, it's not like you can get into too much trouble with all the fucking rules nowadays.
Hmm. So how's the war
Oh,
going?
you.
Are we living?
Terribly. You are totally out of touch, aren't you? You just woke up, huh?
Yes, I think that being dead for 200 years has something to do with that.
Wow, you really have no idea what's going on. Oh, well, that sucks.
Enlighten me.
It's, enlighten you. Yeah, there's a treaty currently. After Chiron died, all the world leaders got together and made a fucking rule book. So now we all behave and we get along and we work together. It's super fun.
Oh god. Reading.
You don't have to read it now. The summary is don't bite anyone that doesn't consent. Don't turn random people. Don't fuck with other people's turf.
Oh, how dull.
Extraordinarily. It's been a time trying to rein in everyone.
Hmm.
If you're gonna do something stupid that breaks the treaty, just fucking don't get caught. That's so much paperwork.
That's certainly understandable.
Um, yeah, you really have zero knowledge. Man, it's interesting to see you knocked down a peg or two. Where? I don't know where I put that book. Yeah, you'll find that the vampires nowadays are a lot less volatile. They are much more passive and peaceful. They're an interesting group, to say the least.
Sounds like you've all been put on a bit of a leash.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I was one of the people who wrote the treaty. It has its purposes.
Well, I'm sure you'll fill me in on those purposes in due course.
Limits hunter attacks, opens trade routes, that sort of thing. It's all political nonsense.
Hmm. Yeah, you never seemed the type to me to take the diplomatic route.
Well, you only knew me as a cold blooded killer, and part of the reason why your beloved queen was murdered, so I don't think we always saw eye to eye, did we?
No, I don't believe we did. No.
How is the estate, by the way? Still lovely?
Oh, in absolute shambles.
Shame.
Yes.
Man, you really are crawling back here. No estate, no knowledge, on your own, completely in the dark.
Well, I may still have my uses.
Oh, sure. Old vampire like yourself. Surprising you can still walk upright.
Well, the thing is, I'm an unfamiliar face to everyone alive today, so I'm sure you've
True.
broken some trusts. If you are still the cold-blooded killer I remember you as.
Oh, please, I haven't been that in years. Or at least not publicly.
Reputations die hard.
Well, most people don't know I'm the general now, do they? The general died along with Chiron. He doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's rather clever strategy you've found. Reinventing yourself.
You knew me doing worse than that, so why are you surprised?
Well, you always seem the type to just get rid of your problems, kill them.
Well, the general was a problem, so now he's dead. Problem solved.
So what's the prince's plan?
Bide my time. Be patient. Something we've lacked in history, because all of us are too forward, bloodthirsty, whatever word you want to pick.
That we can agree on, yes.
This treaty was never built to be a forever thing, so I'm interested to see how the other factions deal with it when it inevitably breaks.
Yes, this peace you talk of, just how strong is it?
Depends on which side you are looking at it from. The vampires have been nothing but well mannered for the last, give or take 150, 200 years. They've been behaving themselves. The hunters, however, have not. Clearly, I have a few marks to show for that. And then the birds are outliers. The mages are true neutral, and the mer people hate us just as much as they did back in the war.
So really not all that much has changed.
Except for the fact that now you can't openly kill a vampire in public, and we cannot openly kill anyone else.
Well, you win some, you lose some.
The hunters still have legal bounties, don't be fooled. so don't get caught.
Very well.
It's Kaz's house, my second.
Your new second, oh. You
He
must
is
introduce
a-
me sometime.
He is a sorry excuse for a vampire, but he's useful. Yeah, he's only been a vampire for what, 5 years? He's turned by heretics. So, not much going for him. There's a few others scattered around. There's 2 birds who live here now, which is interesting. The capital is fucked, as you can see.
Yes.
It used to be prettier, but now it's just kind of miserable. I don't even know if anyone's living in the city anymore. There used to be so many of us here. I don't think so. Did you just swim across the river? Can you not fly?
Well, it's been a while. Can't seem to have the muscle memory for it. I'm sure it'll
Shame.
come back to me.
Well, I suppose if you're actually alive again, then that would make things easier. Yeah, I think...
Already thinking of a use for me, are you?
I mean, I could find one if you would be so inclined, but again, I've never known you to be on my good side, or me on yours.
Yes, that is true. However, I did switch my loyalties once. I can do it again.
Oh, are you really gonna forgive me after all of these centuries?
Forgive you,
Moping
no.
about your...
No, forgive you. Let's call it quid pro quo. You give
Quid
me a,
pro quo.
you give me a purpose, and I'll give you my loyalties.
Do your loyalties truly mean anything?
Well, I seem to last with King Chiron for, what, a good few centuries?
Yet you were still a part of the former Queen's court, were you not?
True. Then again, I'm also not the one that killed him.
I did do that. Along with the rest of his court. They were annoying and not following the rules. I see you've found the restaurant. I don't even know what that is. I pretend not to.
A restaurant?
Apparently, there's a bat hop. Some sort of... I don't even know.
Well,
Kaza likes it.
well, bats don't hop, they fly.
I believe that was the intention of the name. Are you settling back at your ruins? Or are you nomadic now? Are you wandering?
Oh no, I intend to rebuild. The Rothmores were there at least 1,000 years before I was even turned. We'll stay there just a while longer.
You know we're still under the cover of the forest, right? Rothmore Estate's in ruins, though, as you said. What would be the point?
I'll rebuild.
From scratch, the whole thing.
Oh, not from scratch. There's some of it still left. The cellars, mainly. Remember where we used to put those prisoners of war?
Oh, I do.
Those cells are still there. They're still intact.
So then who put you in the crypt then?
I wish I knew.
Strange.
Don't recall having any allies that would go so far for me. Never mind.
Definitely.
Never mind had that kind of magical power.
Definitely was not me. Respectfully, I have no interest in bringing you back. So.
I could have guessed from your surprise.
Well, most people from that period of time are dead. I think you are one of 2 that has returned.
Who's the other one?
Someone. I don't know if you know her.
Does she have a name?
Snow. My former second.
The name does ring a bell, yes.
She's around somewhere, working. Quid pro quo. You do something for me, I do something for you. I don't trust your loyalty. There has to be something else that you want. Something else that you get out of this. You wouldn't follow me just for the hell of it. I've killed 2 of your rulers now, 2 that you followed dearly.
Well, for a start, some thralls to help me rebuild Rothmore Castle would be nice.
Just tools.
Yes, that's all I need for now.
I have literal stashes of tools. That is the least of my worries. You don't want any of the materials or anything like that, or resources, or you just want to do things for the hell of it.
Well, I think I'll find ways of finding my own help.
Always the prideful one, weren't you?
Well, some of us were born into the life of an aristocrat.
As if that means anything. You're the one who ended up in the ground.
Well, I'm back, aren't I?
Back, naive, pathetic, half dead, begging for work.
Perhaps we're both just biding our time for better things to come our way.
Well, at least you're being honest about that.
Oh, I've always been honest.
Sure. Half-truths. Constantly.
Can't spell half-truth without truth. Couldn't make one either.
You are definitely from her court, aren't you?
Yes. Troubles with heretics, I see.
They're more nuisances than anything nowadays. And apparently someone decided to take my entire beach. I love that.
Yes, there is a distinct lack of sand.
I'll have to find out who was digging in my village. You're welcome to stay there if you want, if you need a new estate.
Well, I suppose a second home, a summer home, if you will, would be to my liking.
A summer home.
So to
And what are you
speak.
gonna go tanning and burn in the sun?
Oh, you would like that, wouldn't you?
Mayhaps. It would save me the annoyance of having to deal with you on a daily basis.
Oh, you'll get so much more of that now that I'm back.
Yes, it seems that you are. Just my luck. I definitely needed more spoiled aristocrats crawling around. Tell you what, if you would like to set up a quid pro quo, because no, I do not trust your loyalties as far as I can throw you. Why don't you go find the summit building?
The summit building?
Mm-hmm. It's the building in which all of the world leaders meet to discuss problems with the treaty, along with any conflicts or things that may have occurred that were outside the bounds of the treaty. It's the capital of everyone.
I
And
see.
a lot of. It's a central location where many people travel.
Mm-hmm. So you would like me to be your eyes and ears, so to speak, around this
See
summit
who.
building?
Yeah. See who comes and goes. See if there's hunters in the area.
Mm. Mm.
You're not known, so you don't have a bounty, so they'd have no reason to go after you. Makes things easy because you can be around them without being under threat. Just don't get a bounty because that would be counterproductive.
I'm glad you've found my uses already.
Well, you will stay useful as long as you stay unknown.
That I'll make sure of.
If you go and do this, I will collect the tools you will need to rebuild your beloved estate.
Very well. Point me in the direction and I'll be on my way.
It is about 9,000 blocks in that direction. Northwest.
Oh, okay. Very well. Very well. Sure wish
Do
I
you
had
know what the
those
war?
bat powers right now. Very well.
Do you not know what warp stones are?
Oh yes. Don't have one on me.
There's one at my house. You can use the stationary ones to get from place to place, and the major outlets are usually globally aware.
Whoever buried me wasn't thoughtful enough to bury me with one of those, it would seem.
You can use this. The shopping district is the closest waystone to the summit building. You can't miss it. It's a giant white building. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could even settle down over there and have a little cart to sell your vintage relics that you probably have laying about.
I think I'm still quite far away from pawning off my family heirlooms.
Well, sounds like you're in need of money.
Money? No, not really. Just power and a purpose.
Well, you have a purpose. We'll see about the power part.
Alright then. Well, thank you very much.
I will see you around.
Oh, I see. Ah, I see. Well, if I had to guess, I would say that was it. Very well then. Time to prove myself yet a third time.